welcome to another episode of Mental Health Mondays. I'm super excited and stoked. And for all you baddies out there, you know my guest at this time is none other than Brady Magrath, a.k.a. Baddie Magrath. Welcome to the show, Baddie.
I'm happy to be here. I'm really happy. When you asked me to come on, I was really excited. I really love the message and the idea you were putting out with this. So I'm really happy about it.
Well, I'm excited too. Now, I'm gonna try not to fanboy a little bit, but I just got to go back to my first interaction with you was seeing this picture on Twitter. Jade Cargill was running a baddies contest, and she was coming to the Boston area. It was like, hey, we need some baddies for my baddie section, and there you are.
Yeah.
and everybody, the outpouring of positive support, and just like yes, and to the point where we were like, everybody wanted to see you in the baddie section, and to the point where we actually saw it. And I popped on TV when I actually saw you. I guess the cameraman didn't get the message.
No, so the cameraman didn't get the message. So what happened was we're all sitting there, right? We're sitting with the section, and the cameraman's holding the camera, everything like that. You could kind of see that, you could tell that I wasn't in the frame.
Yeah.
And not only myself, I wasn't the one who even started it. There were two of the girls sitting next to me that were like, hey, I don't think the camera's pointing at you. And they're trying to get his attention. They're like, hey, make sure he's in the camera. Like, he's in the section too. Like, he's wearing the shirt. Like, he's wearing a shirt. Like, get him in the section. And I was like, I just got to get my head in there somewhere.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. They went to bat for you too. They were like, hey, he's part of us.
Oh yeah, no, they were everybody I met that was sitting in that section. They were so nice. They were so kind. You know, I still interact with them on social media sometimes. Like, I'll see them pop up and we'll have like a quick little conversation. It's really funny, just like how things, it's funny how things can just like come to.
Yeah.
And back to what you said about how everybody was so positive on the original tweet. That was a shock to me, because sometimes, especially on Twitter, is exactly what I was about to say. The way that people interact with others on Twitter compared to what I was getting was incredible. You know, like, even if somebody had something negative to say, they got shut down. Like, they made sure they deleted it fast. Like, it wasn't anything. It was just, it was really great. It was really nice to see so many people being so kind and so positive and going to bat for me when I really didn't need anybody to. But,
but you were kind of like the everyman hero, because you're kind of representing all of us. Like, yes, it's a testament to Jade's true personality versus the character she plays. But we have a Wednesday night watch party. Me and my friends and my wife, we watch AEW every Wednesday, and we were all like that Leo DiCaprio gif where he's like this, you know.
Yeah, hey, what?
Because all I saw was like this little, hey.
Yeah, I remember you were like the first tweet that I saw. Like, you tweeted that you're like, our hero, he made it. I was like, because I didn't think, and again, like, I knew that I was gonna, be there, and I knew if I got on the camera or anything, that would be cool. But even when I got on the camera, there was just another outpour of tweets being like, there he is, that's the guy. Like, I didn't expect that at all, but it was really cool. It was fun.
Not to turn this into a wrestling podcast, because I do want to get into like the mental health side of it. But just seeing that, I think it's kind of like our hero got on TV. It's kind of like the fans, like something about most AEW fans. I mean, there's trolls everywhere. But it seemed the community that was rallying behind you, it was kind of like representing all of us. Like, we were all there with you. It was like, this is great. And it really, I think it really, it was a positive moment, I think, for a lot of us. And if it made you feel good, I'm sure we're all glad. But it was one of those things where it really, the fact that you were there that you made it there with the Baddies crew was like it was such a great moment. I mean,
It was incredible. It was so
victory.
incredible it was a victory. It was so nice to, be there. And not only was it was one of the best wrestling shows I ever watched in my entire life. And just to be there front row, like I got to see FTR Bucks live.
Yes.
I got to see Yuta Moxley live. Like that was the birth. That was the birth of Wheeler Yuta.
Yeah,
we saw there, and I had to be the front
Wheeler
row
Yuta we're seeing now.
Yeah, exactly. But and then again, just meeting Jade too.
Yep.
She's just such an excellent. She's such an excellent human being. Like it wasn't just like a one-off thing where it's I went to the show, I took a picture with her, and that was. She still interacts with me on Twitter. She still, will like occasional things. And like that picture that was so cool to just get grabbed from the side. Somebody came up to me and said, "Oh, she wants to meet you first." And I was like, that's hilarious. The first thing she says is, "Look at you. You are incredible. Can I hug you?" And I was like, yes, you can. Like, yes, you can. But she was just incredible. And the whole way that it was laid out and, so much fun. 10 out of 10. I would love to do it again.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. And that fan experience. I know AEW does a tremendous job with the fan experience, making them feel like family. And I think they see the fans as part of the show, part of the family. Also, Jade specifically, I think a lot of times people forget that these wrestlers are people too.
Yeah.
Aside from the trolls, I think even regular fans sometimes forget that, like QT Marshall is one of my favorite wrestlers because the character QT Marshall is such a despicable human being. He gets so many people. He just he makes kids upset. He goes around, but the actual guy is tremendous. Like in the locker room, behind the scenes, this guy's tremendous. But when he's in the camera, he's QT Marshall, and Jade, I think, is one of those people that you can see, I can't hate her. No matter how much of a heel she's playing, you can just see that she's a genuine good person.
Yes.
And that moment when she picked up her daughter and, that's the stuff that just gets you in the feels. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It really, it's tough because, you see people while they're playing a character on television, and it feels even greater when you could see their true personality and their true, the humanism of it when it's really them. And it's moments like that where, like you see her daughter, her daughter's crying because she's so excited. And it's just, I love that stuff. It really.
Incredible. What are you going to do? You're going to say, oh, you're a heel, so we hate your daughter too. No,
yeah, right. Yeah. Like you can't do that. Like, it's none of that. Like
and it's interesting how sometimes with wrestling versus like a TV show, somebody, an actor plays a great villain and we're like, oh, what a great performance. And then a wrestler plays a great villain and we're like, we hate this guy. It's like, no, they're playing a character.
Yeah, exactly. It's a TV show,
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's a TV show. That's what I like to say to all of my friends who don't, not all of my friends like wrestling. And they always question why I watch it all the time. And, I'll just say hey, you know what? Game of Thrones, dragons aren't real.
Dragons,
like the dragon was a tennis ball, on a stick. You know what I mean? Like the White Walkers didn't exist.
There's no Iron Man. There's no Avengers.
Yeah,
there's no dragons. Let's come back to the world now. Yeah, there's no Frodo. Exactly. I wanted to ask you because I've been curious. I'm sure a lot of our listeners are curious about this picture. Tell us the story, because this was not taken specifically for the baddies, or this was something. I understand this was there's a story behind this picture itself. Now, did you actually work for Hooters? I mean, were you actually a server?
No. So, a fun thing about first of all, the costume itself, I bought it for Halloween 3 years ago. And it didn't come in time. and I didn't get it. And that was during the COVID. It was when it was COVID. It was COVID Halloween. So, me and all my friends we were going to have just like a party in one of their houses. And I was going to go in the sweatshirt and sweatpants and be like, yeah, sorry guys, didn't bring a costume. Then I was going to go into the bathroom and come out wearing that. But
tremendous.
I ended up, it didn't show up in time. So, whatever. I got the refund for it. Didn't think I was going to get it, but it still came in. And the next year we went to Arizona around the time of Halloween. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to bring this. This would be a great costume. So I went into downtown Tempe, Arizona, Old Town, Arizona, wearing that costume. And the amount of people that just wanted to take pictures, like, I need a picture with you. Like, I need to send this to so-and-so. I need so many free drinks were purchased for me. I had a bouncer get off the shift, come upstairs and be like, here, I bought you this Bud Light because that's the best costume I've ever seen in my life. So, yeah, I took that picture in Arizona on Halloween. And awesome. Then I saw, Jade posted the tweet, like, looking for my baddies in Boston, whatever it was. And I was like, oh, my friends will get a kick out of this. Like, maybe a few people will laugh at it. And I posted it. My phone's on the other side of my room. Like, it's charging on the other side of the room. And I'm sitting at my desk, and I hear my phone just buzzing, going off. I'm like, what is going on? Are, like, people arguing a group message? Like, sending me a bunch of messages. I look over, I pick up my phone. I'm like, what is this? Like, what is going on my Twitter? And she retweeted it. And I'm like, this is bad. Like, this is going to get nasty. Like, I'm going to get bullied off of Twitter right now. Like, that was my first response. I'm like, I'm going to get destroyed on Twitter right now. And it's Jade Cargill's fault. But
thanks, Jade.
Right. Exactly. That was what I thought, like, right away. But it was just, like, again, the outpour of just love and positivity. And there was, like, barely any negative to it. And it was just such a great moment. And, that picture propelled me into niche wrestling Twitter fame.
Yes. At the absolute worst. At the absolute worst, you're going to be a Jackbox trivia question. At the absolute worst, which AEW was the Boston Baddie?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. And it's such a cool moment, but also kind of encapsulates a larger spectrum of issues. On one side, the whole internet thing, how you were expecting this to be like, oh, here comes the drones of haters come flying in. And the other side, though, I want to highlight first is I think the appeal for a lot of people too is this relentless positivity. And something that I'm really kind of fascinated by is the power of positive thinking. A lot of us go through our lives, we're our worst enemies, and I think a lot of times we have these negative thoughts in our heads, like, oh no, you can't do this, blah. And just being able to just say, no, this is who I am, this is what I'm going to do, and it's going to be funny, and it's boom, I'm going out there and I'm choosing joy, choosing to have fun over being miserable and in a sea of self-doubt. How do you feel about that?
I just think that life is too short to not enjoy it, right? And it's tough because, even on that tweet, I saw a lot of people saying like, oh, I wish I could be that confident, or I wish I could be this, or I wish I could be that. And I would just reply back and be like, you can. Like, look at me. Like, look at me just doing it. I just did it to do it. Like, it really just takes a mindset. And, if you wake up in the morning, like you wake up at 8 a.m., you wake up at 8 a.m. in the morning and you say, I'm going to have a bad day. You're just now at 8 in the morning, you are now setting such a low expectation for your day that it's just going to be bad. Yeah. But if you wake up at 8 in the morning and you said, hey, look at me. Like I say all the time, we woke up today.
Yes.
We woke up. You are getting up and you're ready to go for your day. The day is going to go by quicker because you're positive, your energy. You go outside, go get a coffee, get some fresh air, ready to go. Keep it going. And it's really just so much of what a mentality can do for you that can change everything. And I am a firm believer in that. And sometimes I slip up, as we all do. We're human. Yeah. We're human, and we're gonna slip up. But as long as I can go, as long as I can go the majority of the week with giving myself a positive outlook, that's a win. That's a W. And I'll take that W 10 out of 10.
Absolutely.
W every day. Every day.
We woke up today. I meant to start the show with that, but yeah, we woke up today. That's a huge thing to celebrate. And I do like I do think you're absolutely right too about choosing to have a good day. Because I think sometimes we let exterior things affect our mood, but that gives it power over us. Especially like there's been days where I wake up and like I'm trying to feed the cats and the can opener cuts my finger or something. And I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna have a horrible day today. And then it's like, no, I'm gonna let the can opener determine what my day is gonna be. Yeah. No, I'm gonna have an awesome day. And I think that's very important. It's very important. It's easier said than done, because I know it's very easy to wrap yourself in that self-doubt blanket, because it's just, oh, nothing's gonna happen. But I think if you can power through and just really change your mindset, you never know what's possible. You might be hanging out with Jade Cargill.
Yeah. It really is crazy what just, not again, like you said, easier said than done, because it is. Yeah. It's so much easier said than done. But if you can just, take a step outside at the beginning of the day, then there's so many things that can change for you. And, that's what happens. Like I took a step outside and I posted that tweet, and it pushed me to whatever I'm doing now.
let that be a testament. Let that be a testament to everybody out there. And words do have power, but I think they have the most power with ourselves. And if we say, like you said, when you were seeing comments like, oh, I wish I had the confidence to do that. It's like, well, you're kind of already defeating yourself before you even try.
Yeah.
By saying that, you say, well, no, nobody, I wouldn't be able to do this. It's like, well, you didn't try, and if you try, what's the worst that's going to happen? It's out. A bunch of random strangers are going to say something. So what? It's like, but the best thing that's going to happen is you're gonna be proud of yourself. You should be proud of yourself no matter what. And
exactly,
I think that's a tremendous perspective to have, and it's very healthy. It's so much more helpful than like any kind of substance or anything out there that could to put yourself in that mindset of, hey, I can do this, or I'm not perfect, but I'm gonna try.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I'm not saying that it's that there aren't haters out there and there aren't trolls, and one of the Twitter. My goodness.
Yeah.
Twitter is, I'm fascinated and disgusted at the same time with Twitter. It's like, it's interesting where like a positive tweet a lot of times might get maybe six likes, 7 likes tops. Yet a controversial negative hate tweet, you get all this interaction. Yeah. And it's almost like the same thing, like that kid in school that gets the wrong kind of attention. It's the teacher the teacher would rarely recognize the kids that are doing their work quietly.
Yeah.
But the kid that's like throwing spitballs and drawing penises on the desk and stuff like that, that's the one that gets all the attention. And I wonder if Twitter's kind of like that, where it's the negativity that gets the interaction. Do you see it kind of that way? And how do you handle that?
I mean, the thing with Twitter is one of my this is always like a silly thing that I always see, but one of my favorite like tweets of all time is from the rapper Tyler, the Creator. Because it's the way that he frames it doesn't sound right, but in and it sounds like how are you going to get cyberbullied? Just close your laptop. Like,
yeah,
it's one of those things where it's like the internet. You also give the internet power.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone like I've been guilty of the fact of I've tweeted something and I've had people be completely negative to it, and I've just been like, I don't want to deal with it, so I delete it.
Yeah.
And then they'll say, well, why'd you delete the tweet? Why'd you delete it? It's like, because it's not important. Like, it's in the grand scheme of life, I don't know who you are. Like you have a profile picture that's not your face. Like, how am I going to argue with you? I don't want to argue with you.
You're a gray silhouette. I don't need to worry about
exactly. First name, last name, bunch of numbers. That's it's just I see Twitter as it's probably my favorite social media app, but it's also like easily the most negative out of all social medias anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of one of those things that I just combat it with, like, I don't want to see it. So my block list on Twitter is super high.
Yeah.
I block so many accounts just because I just don't want to see them. Like, I want to curate my feed to have the feed that I want. And then, if someone comes out of the woodworks, I just add to the list.
To the list. Or exactly. I love when they'll do, like, here's a list of a bunch of losers. Like, getting back to wrestling, like, they'll be like, here are the AEW marks. And I'm like,
oh, great. Here are all the people that I want to follow.
Exactly. Yeah, let me go through. Follow, already following, follow. Exactly. Oh, there's Amy Nimity. Well, follow. You go through the whole thing. It's like, you're almost like, thanks for the favor. Mm-hmm. Or the opposite. They'll say, hey, here's all the cool people that hate on these other people, and it's like, okay, these are people.
Like, so they're clearly not, but okay, let's go check. Let's go see what's going on with that.
But it's interesting too, the philosophy behind that. Like, I'll see people brag about getting blocked, and to me, like, I always try to translate, like, what would that look like? How would that manifest in the real world? Like Twitter, like you going up to somebody and going and harassing them, and then they block you. It's like, hey, he blocked me. Yeah, he blocked you.
Yeah, what a snowflake. It's like, bro, you just berated me and called me every name in the book. Why do I want to talk to you?
Exactly.
Like, why do I want to see you again?
And like the old joke about, like, you post, like, hey, I like McDonald's, and then everybody's, well, why do you hate Burger King then? I always think of the philosophy of, like, it's the equivalent of walking into Burger King, yelling at everybody, saying, McDonald's is so much better. You guys suck. Not buying anything and then just leaving. It's like, why did you do that?
Why did you have to do that? What was the reason? Like, let's unpack that a little bit. Like, let's figure out what's going on, little guy. Like,
but I think that's it. I think, you say little guy. I think it is. It's filling an insecurity. It's kind of a, because there is a tribalism, with a lot of things, like with sports, with definitely with AEW, WWE, and there's a lot of, I think it fills that same thing that fills a kid that needs attention, that goes about it the wrong way. You know what I mean?
It gives you, or it gives them, like, this boost of confidence that, I'm dunking on this guy online. It's like, like in the real world, nobody cares about that. Like, it's not, it's just, it's like when you grow up, it's like when you're growing up in high school, right? Or high school, middle school. And you see the group of people that are like, oh, those are the popular kids. And then, like, you grow up and then you're like, well, what was the point of being everybody has their own popularity, you know what I mean? Like, but it's, it's just, I don't understand why people think that being, like, blatantly negative is so positive to them. But to each their own, I guess.
It's an attention thing, and I think it is kind of like they almost treat like, oh, I own this guy, dunked on this guy. It's like a scout. And it's like, hey, look who I got today. Oh, I got, and getting a celebrity to get mad. It's like it's like some kind of, hey, look, they're paying attention to me. Look at this and blah blah blah. you combine that with and it's also human nature too, I think,
Yeah.
to get emotionally invested in your own opinion sometimes, where like you defend it to the death, and sometimes you see that you see that in politics and sports, you see that in so many different areas. So it's like if you see anybody that questions it, there's this comedy of negativity that happens where you have the anonymity of being behind a screen, being somebody bunch of numbers, and being able to interact with somebody that's in the public eye, or somebody that's saying something and dunking on them. It's somehow in a messed up version of Highlander. It's like you're absorbing their like they think that you're absorbing their energy by dunking on them or something.
Yeah,
It's like this weird
you're fulfilling your purpose of the past hour.
Exactly. Look what
I did today, and then it's just like it's not going to matter in a year.
I would love to see somebody go in a job interview and sit down and like, well, what are your skills? Dunking on people on Twitter, man.
Yeah.
It's like, or man, what you stayed? You're at late night last night? Were you working hard on your project? No, man,
I was owning the libs. Like
exactly, I was owning the libs, man. I was owning those libs. That just kills me. It's like really that's what literally go out and touch some grass, please. Please, literally go out there. But I do think it comes back to that, your own giving, words have power, you having positive thoughts, but also Twitter, just like anything else, if you give it power over you, it's going to control your day. Yeah. And I'm guilty of it too. Like I'll look on Twitter and there's something that ticks me off. And then I'm thinking about it all day. I'm like, man, that was a messed up thing that guy said. Yeah. And then it ruins my day. It's like, I don't know how that's a thing. I got to also commend you too. You're looking great today compared to the picture that from, and obviously COVID, you're in Arizona. It was I'm sure it was a fun time.
Oh yeah.
But there you are as the Boston Baddie, and then there's here. And you seem you're in great spirits. How have you since this moment, all this, how have things been going for you since then?
I want to say that was kind of, and it's really weird to say it like this, but that was kind of a moment that made me realize that things are going to be okay. Because I've had my fair share of down days and everything like that, but in that moment where everybody was being so positive, it kind of took away what could have been negative and just told myself that things can be better, things will be better. Like, look at this opportunity that you're just getting, just being yourself. You get to go watch something you love because of being you.
Yes.
And being you is the most important thing that you physically can do. And like that, that made me realize that I need to be better for myself. That I need to be better for myself, because I was giving so many people so much like positivity, but I don't do that for me all the time. Like I want to try to give off, like I give off the facade that I am a very positive person, but sometimes I'm really negative to myself.
Yeah.
And as we all can be. And I sometimes wish that I can give myself the love that I give to other people. Like I don't want to try to like, I don't want to say that like I'm bragging about myself, but I'm not a very selfish person. I don't want to be a selfish person ever. So if I can help somebody in it, even if it's at the expense of me, then I've helped somebody.
Yeah.
But I wish that I could, sometimes be a little more selfish and, look out for myself a little bit more. And that's something that I need to, that's something that you just need to do. And you always have time to do it. And that's another thing that made me realize just like days are days. And maybe I need to say not being selfish, but just trying to be more, positive outlooked. And
there's a difference between selfish and self-care. Like,
yes.
and I think that's hard for people to split because I think there are people that don't care. They're selfish and they're like, hey, I'm greedy, I'm selfish, I'm gonna get everything. But I think folks like yourself, and I feel like this too, we want to spread joy to everybody else, but we have a hard time turning that back on us because we almost feel like we're being selfish. But there is a difference between being selfish and self-care. I've been a teacher for over 10 years, and one of the hardest things is you teachers give all of themselves. There's so many good I'm sure there's a handful of bad teachers, but most teachers, they give so much of themselves to help the kids, but that we forget who we are. We forget to take care of ourselves. And if you're not taking care of yourself, eventually you're not going to be around to take care of others, to spread that joy. And I feel like we all have we have that mojo in us that we use to spread joy. And when it gets to zero, when it depletes, you got to recharge. And you got to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. But and again, it's easier said than done. It's a constant battle. But I think you're right. It's so hard for people that like to spread joy to then count yourself as one of those people that need joy.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think that's a hard thing. I do think that you're a positive inspiration to us all. I think that just that whole moment as becoming Baddie Magrath was a moment where it kind of exuded that whole thing of hey, look what putting yourself out there can lead to.
Yeah.
What have you got going on now? Are you are you going back to work at Hooters or
Yeah, well actually I am an Uber driver.
Nice.
I drive Uber full time. It's really fun. Like I don't mind, I could sit in my car for 10 hours a day. I'll just basically drive around the entire state of Massachusetts. And I'm actually looking back into going to school, finishing up my degree.
Nice.
Do I know what I want to do? No. But would getting a degree be kind of cool? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Pretty gnarly.
You know what I mean? Like just filling out all the side quests at the age of 26.
Until you pick up that one passenger that looks like he's the guy that's going to give you the rare items for your quest.
Yeah, exactly. I will say this. I have been very fortunate. I've been doing Uber for about almost 3 years. It'll be 3 years in August. And I have not had any bad experiences.
Nice.
I've had like maybe one, but other than that, I've been clear. And hopefully I can keep it that way.
Do you sometimes wear the Baddie Magrath outfit, the gear?
I have the shirt. Oh, let me grab this. Hopefully I'm not tearing down everything. Oh my god, I'm dropping everything. I had a mug up there. I still have the shirt. I'm gonna rock the shirt all summer.
Yes.
I'm gonna wear it to the beach.
You have
I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna show it off every chance I get because like that shirt, and again, when everything went down and Jade, me and her were DMing about the whole situation.
Yeah.
And she was like, so we've talked to the PR team. You can't wear the Hooters shirt. Do you have like any ideas what you could do? I'm like, I could just make a shirt. She's like, oh my God, you can do that? I'm like, yeah, I can do that right now. And I just went down to a local print shop. I explained it. He even fronted it. Like I didn't even pay for it. Like he was like that. Cool. He's like, that story is so funny. That is so awesome. Just take the shirt. And if you ever do it again, we'll make a better one. Like we'll order it. We'll order you another one. And I'm like, this one's perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna rock this to the day I die.
Get
a frame.
we need you on TikTok walking down the walking down the street and everybody, hey, Baddie, what's up? Hey, what's going on? And definitely when AEW comes back to the Boston area, we got to get the return of the Baddie. Maybe even a little business with somebody. Maybe I don't know. Maybe Taya Valkyrie can try to slap you or something. And Jade.
Taya Valkyrie. Taya Valkyrie. It's Jade. It's Jade or nothing.
Jade or nothing.
Jade or nothing.
And do they have are you a Newport Creamery fan? Is that one of the places that's nearby you, or is that closer to Rhode Island area?
That's closer to Rhode Island.
That's like Newport area.
Yeah, I'm actually quite literally right across from the airport.
Oh wow! Okay.
Like if my window is open,
it's
if a plane's coming by, it's way too loud. Like there's a park in Winthrop that's quite literally there's park, water, airport. So you see the planes with their landing gear down. When you're at the beach, it looks like the planes are coming right at the beach and they're flying right over the town. Like it's
like in Wayne's World. Whoa!
Yeah, like if I've brought people here and they've seen the planes and they're like, that's gonna hit a building. I'm like, it's not. Like trust me, it's not. Like I promise. No. Like
it may look like it, but
yeah, it definitely looks like it. But it's
does the Baddie Mobile, which I am now calling your Uber, the Baddie Mobile, does that run on Dunkin'?
No. The Baddie Mobile does not run on Dunkin'. The Baddie Mobile runs on Honeydew. Honeydew Donuts. Honeydew. I'm going to say this right now to anybody listening to this.
Unofficial sponsor, Honeydew.
Unofficial sponsor, Honeydew Donuts. It is the most underrated chain coffee in general. Ooh. I go there. I got my rewards. I got my phone app. I scan it every morning. I get my coffee. It's great.
How big of a chain is it? Is it just Massachusetts or is it spreading?
It's kind of. I think Honeydew is mostly just New England. I think it's mainly just New England. I'm not totally sure. Maybe just northeast. Maybe just kind of northeast area, but. Right. I mean, it's definitely it's underrated for me. I always tell my friends like, "Oh, I went to Dunkin' today. I went to Starbucks today." It's like, nah, rip Honeydew. I've got one of my friends to convert. Of my friends to convert.
Here we go.
There it is.
Honeydew Donuts. Look at this.
Donuts.
Keep your star. Oh, look at the sandwiches. Hold on.
Yeah, the sandwiches are good. The burritos underrated. The burritos are underrated.
Cow. This is the avocado burrito. Looks like it's got milk soy. Looks like it's got. You could get like hash browns in it.
Yeah.
Mac and cheese.
They have mac and cheese bowls. This place. It's a coffee place.
This is like forget about Wawa. Forget about. Here we go.
They hook it up.
Oh my goodness! All right. Well, so hey, there you go. Of course, they got the coffees, the hot drinks.
They hook it up. They do it all for you.
Unofficial sponsor.
I'm a fan. Unofficial sponsor.
But we'll take an official sponsorship if you're listening, honey. Come on. But if you're in Boston, and I found that too because I have relatives in the New England area, and one of the funniest things is the assumption that everybody up there loves Dunkin', and it's not true. I mean, as much as many Dunkins as you can see in a block radius, like. I think a lot of people see people drinking a lot of Dunkin' because it's everywhere. But when you ask people, what do you prefer? It's usually something that they like. That's why I asked the Newport Creamery question, because that's where my dad's side of the family, they love to go to Newport Creamery. But now I think we're going to have to check out Honeydew.
Yeah.
This is good stuff.
It's good. They actually, if I do go to Dunkin' Donuts, I'll always get a cold brew. And the reason I always get a cold brew is because I tell everybody this, you can't burn a cold brew. Dunks always finds a way to burn their coffees. So you can't mess that one up in my mind. So, but yeah, it's but they actually just recently they just did a news story. There's in Revere, which is a town right next to my town. Mm-hmm. There are 2 Dunkin' Donuts directly across the street from each other. Like It's like road, median, road to Dunkin' Donuts. And it's like the closest proximity of 2 Dunkin' Donuts in the country. And it's like the argument is which one's better.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Is it right side or left side?
It's like yeah, it's almost like the Twix argument. It's like did you get your coffee?
Yeah, you get the left Twix or the
right Dunkin'.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a right Dunkin'. Oh, this is a left Dunkin'.
Yeah.
Well, Brady, aka Baddie, this has been, in the words of RJ City, this has been a romp. This has been a lot of fun, and I'd love to have you back on again. Do you have any parting words of wisdom or like a more than a fortune cookie thing to say to everybody about mental health?
Yeah, I could give them more than a fortune cookie. You know, days can be really hard, and it's really all about how you attack the day. And there are plenty ways that you can attack the day for yourself. And step one is to be as positive as you can, because you can't let a bad day ruin your whole week. You can't let a bad day ruin your whole life, because you have a whole life to live. And that's the moral of the story. It's your life. You're the main character of your own story.
Yeah.
And what you do with that and how you form your own story is the important part. Mm-hmm. So my parting wisdom is to love yourself unconditionally, love yourself until the cows come home, because you're in your life to live it. Yes. So, and we woke up today.
We got up
today. We got out of bed. We're doing this interview. We're doing it all because we woke up today. Woo! Wake up and smile. Woo!
Woo! Awesome. And on that note, thanks for watching, everybody. This has been your Mental Health Monday. Have an awesome week. Get out there and remember, we woke up today. See you later. Catch new episodes of Mental Health Mondays every Monday morning at 7 a.m. Start your week off with a smile and some inspiration.